LaVita Weaver, welcome back to VIP in the DMV. I am truly excited about this program. You don't want to miss it. Get the kids, your mama, your daddy, your friends, tell everybody. And the reason why I'm so excited because I have a musicologist that I'm interviewing today. His name is Todd Gholar. Todd, welcome to VIP in the DMV.
My pleasure.
And Todd, one of the reasons why I'm so excited to have you on the program is because for years, we've danced to music, we've been inspired by music, we've done so much with music. All of us can relate to music, right. But we see our artists, right, our favorite singers, but we don't really get to see the people behind the scenes,
yes,
the musicians. So introduce yourself, who you are and what you do.
Well, as you said, I'm Todd Gholar. I'm from Mississippi, born and raised in a little town, Moss Point, Mississippi. I went to Jackson State University where I received a computer science degree. I went to Southern Methodist University and got a master's in software engineering. And I moved to Virginia and got heavily involved in music. And so I've been playing in church and kind of self-taught, play keys, drums, bass, I teach lessons, I produce. And so just trying to do it all. Music is my passion.
Wow, and I hear you trying to summarize it, but when I saw your resume, whoa, my goodness. Like you said, you majored in computer science, software engineering. So how does that relate to music? Like, how did that translate to music?
Well, I'm a very over-analytical person.
Okay.
A bit of a perfectionist. And so I study a lot. I just like just trying to perfect my craft. And so I'm always trying to learn something new, which is why I kept learning different instruments, never settling with one. And so the person is trying to be a jack of all trades.
Okay.
When I moved here, I had hoped to be a drummer, and I came here and saw so many drummers around. I was like, I got to learn how to play something else.
Wow.
And so I started playing bass and got some opportunities. Some doors were open there. And then I got on keys and started trying to be band director.
Band director too?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I've been playing for several churches in the area. A lot of my friends call me the hub because my networking, a lot of people are sent to me when they come to the area to trying to find a church, or
That's awesome.
A lot of pastors and people that's coming up, event coordinators, they call me if they need like bands or musicians or singers, and I send out blasts to help people find what they need.
That's awesome. Now, you said you play so many instruments. You play the drums,
Yes.
the bass,
Yes.
you said the keyboard, and
Yes.
what else?
That's the main three. That's
still a lot.
The rest of the instrumentation I have to do from the keyboard.
From the keyboard as
But
well.
yes.
And you write music,
Yes.
songs
Yes.
as well, and you sing.
Yes.
Oh my God, so you are a musicologist. Let's talk about being a musicologist. Like, how did you come up with that terminology?
Well, when I was a few years ago, I was creating a website for myself because I was
Okay.
trying to build up my social media presence.
Okay.
Because I was starting talking to some companies that make instruments that I was trying to do some deals with. And I put a website out. It's called Todd Gholar, the musician.
Okay.
And then it's simple enough, but a lot of other people start using it. I'm the type of person that try to do something different.
I understand.
So I saw
truly understand.
a few other websites come out and said their name, the musician.
Okay.
I was like, I want to do something different. So I was trying to think of what about music, what terminology I could use. And so I was thinking about, psychologists, biologists, it all means to specialize in.
Wow.
And so I said musicologist and put it on my website, and it kind of caught on.
So what you are really, you're a creative. You're just a naturally born, gifted creative. And it's amazing you call yourself a musicologist because that grabbed my attention because I called myself a VIPologist. So with that in mind, how does music help us live better?
Well, music, it invokes emotion. And so it can be relaxing. It can actually hype you up to do something that, like, people use it to exercise because it's a hyping tool.
Yeah.
It can bring you to tears. It can make you reflect.
Wow.
It can get you in a worshipful mode. It can bring a smile to your face. make you think about friendship, make you think about relationships. It can do it. It's just invoking a lot of emotions depending on the flow of the music and how it's arranged. So it's important.
Yeah. So as a musicologist, why do you think music has so much power? Like, where did that type of power come from? Does it touch our soul? Does it touch the mind? Does it touch the heart? Like, what is it that invokes so many types of emotions?
Well, music is used for a lot of things,
Mm-mm.
good and bad, but
Okay.
it goes way back. Back in the Bible days,
Mm-mm.
music meant something. It could
Yeah.
mean war.
Yeah. That's real good.
It could mean worship. It can mean it's time to reflect on and focus on God. It could mean meditate. And so music has always been a part of us. I remember when I was back in the day, my daughter was maybe one in age, and she would be in the car seat in the back, and I would be playing some of the music that I've helped arrange.
What?
And people would like drive by or be at the stoplight, and they would be laughing at us in a good way because they would see her in the back
Dropping her.
joking. And they was wondering how she's so young, don't really even know what's going on. And it's just a part. Music moves you.
You played for so many well-known artists across the nation as well. And so how do you get those gigs? Am I using that word correctly, gig?
That's fine.
Okay, gig, okay.
Yeah. So sometimes it's through word of mouth. Sometimes it's through who you know or somebody else you've played for. I know one of the first maybe artists that I played for was LaShawn Pace.
Okay.
And when she came to town back then, she had hired a company to put her a team together.
Mm-mm.
And almost every major gig that I got, I can trace back to some favor that I did for somebody. And so that's why when I'm like mentoring younger musicians coming up, I'm always saying the battle between, yes, you want to get paid for what you do, but sometimes it's the relationships that you build. And it can't always be the focus on money. And so I got that position because the person who was hired to put the team together, I had played for his group for a while. And when I got to play for another celebrity, I won't say, but celebrity wedding in Atlanta some years ago, that I was chosen because the person who put the band together, I had played for his group as a favor. And so because I was the person that was always willing to help, even when I wasn't that great at my instrument yet, it was the heart and the passion of like, yes, I'm willing to help. And I wasn't the one always saying, hey, how much you gonna pay me? How much you gonna pay me?
Wow.
And that stuck with people. And so when they did get these bigger opportunities, they came back to me and said, I want to honor you because you helped me out even when I couldn't pay you.
You're about to make me cry. I got lashes on. I don't want to mess up my lashes.
Don't mess
And
up
I
your
say
lashes.
that because, even you being humble enough to come on this program. I saw your resume is huge. You played for so many artists, and you just humbly said, "Sure, LaVita." And even when I first met you, you didn't tell me really who you were, what you did. You didn't put that in the forefront at all. You were just like, "Okay, LaVita, I think I can help you with your beat."
Yeah.
You know my beat, VIP in the DMV, value, identity, and purpose. Right.
Yeah.
And you didn't say, "Girl, you know who I played for, who I worked with." You just said, "Oh yeah, I can help you with that."
I'm gonna help you.
And then when I found out what you did, who you played for, and then came to your award ceremony, the DMV, what Musicians and Singers Award Ceremony and Fellowship, and I heard everything you've accomplished and what you did. I'm like, that is a humble brother. And that's why God can use you such in an amazing way because of your heart.
Yeah.
And one of the things that really stuck with me during your speech at the award ceremony or fellowship, you said you were amazed at what God can do with a little bit of talent. Talk to me about that. That was powerful. It stayed with me.
Yes. So I mentioned in my speech that a few things that I was trying to throw out meaning to the people the other musicians and singers that are listening. One, that I was thanking God for directing my path, even though He already knew that I was going to make some wrong decisions.
Yeah, right.
And so God is always gracious and His love is everlasting. But also I was saying that even when my talent was small, God was able to use it because my intentions were pure.
So let me get this straight. What do you mean by your talent was small? Like you had not rehearsed yet, you had not reached the,
I
you know,
hadn't reached a certain level of expertise.
wow.
And so, like, when you're first starting out,
Okay.
you know, you can be anointed to do something,
Yeah.
even though you don't have many years of experience doing it.
Right.
And so it had already been prophesied on me when I was younger that I was going to be a great bassist.
Wow.
And so most people, and that's kind of considered my main instrument. Like when I
bass,
go
yeah.
play for celebrities, it's usually bass. And most people think that I've been playing that the longest, but I actually been playing that the shortest. But when I got on bass, it was just something clicked there.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I wasn't that good at it at first,
Okay.
I was getting opportunities, and people said, "Oh, I want you to come play with me," and they saw the potential, and God opened those doors because He knew my potential and what I would be, and that I would be faithful to Him and not just seeking money.
So what advice would you give other musicians out there right now looking, or they think they have a little bit of talent? Is that the advice you would actually give them? Would you just share with me your testimony?
Sure. Have to have the correct heart.
Okay.
You have to have a passion for it.
Wow.
I mean, of course, we can go into a profession because it pays.
Right.
But if your heart is in it, you would make decisions based on what God wants you to do and not who's paying the most money. And so if you just stick with what you're passionate about, because we all are hard on ourselves.
Right,
Creatives are hard on themselves.
Yes.
And we get impatient sometimes.
Yes.
And so I remember when it took me hours to learn one song when I first started.
Hours?
Hours to learn a song.
And then you write songs.
I wasn't great at it.
Okay.
But now my friends, you know, that are learning or that I'm teaching, they laugh at me because they say, "Oh, I want you to teach me how to play this song," and they send me a YouTube link, and I'm on a video chat with them. And now it takes me like maybe 2 to 5 minutes.
That's what I said, minutes
to learn a song, and then I'm showing them, "Oh yeah, I got it," and they laugh. But I remember where I started, and so that gradual growth, I would say, don't grow weary in that, because you know it'll come. If your intentions are pure, God is gonna water the plant.
That's
and so just stick with it.
And with that in mind, you're a PK kid, right? What's
I'm a
that?
PK kid. It's short for preacher's kid.
A preacher's kid. What was that like? Growing up as a preacher's kid.
Well, I mentioned that, as you know, in my speech as well, because my dad was there when I accepted the award, and I was thanking him for not being the strict parent that most pastors and preachers are, because I was never forced into anything, and so I never found a need to rebel.
Oh wow!
And
that's
so
awesome.
I was never forced
really
to go to church. I was never, you know, how people say, "Well, we was in church every day of the week."
Right.
Like it was suggested heavily, but it was a choice. And so when I was going to church, it was always because I wanted to be there, not because I felt like I was forced to go. I wanted to go to church.
That's awesome.
And so even when I went off to college, whenever I would come back into town, I would be following my daddy around. But now as a musician, and so if he was going to preach at a revival, then I'll be on the organ like backing him up.
Wow.
And so I just always wanted to be. And when I moved here, he would always call me and say, "You singing in church yet?" And I would say, "No, Dad, I don't want to sing." And I didn't want to be the one singing, but I wanted to play.
Yeah, you wanted to play.
So I was like, "But I'm playing in church." Said, "All right, well, as long as you're still in church, I'm happy for you." And so, I never was the rebellious type when I went off to college. I was more so about business.
Now, how do you think growing up in the church influenced your music?
Well, because I was like looking up to other musicians, and that's how I got my start, actually.
Okay.
I had I could retain a lot. I have a strong memory, and so the guy that was the minister of music and the musician, he wanted to get off the keyboard and sing and direct.
Okay.
And so he would come over to our house when I was younger, and he would just teach me all the songs. Just say, "Hey, go to this chord, do this, and I would just remember all of it and just regurgitate it back out. And when we get to Sunday, I would just be playing from memory. Didn't really know what A flat minor 7. I didn't know what a G major 7 chord was. I was just doing whatever he showed me, and I would just remember the whole song.
So did you learn by ear or by reading music?
Well, I learned from him showing me, and then it was the ear developed. Now, when I was younger, I did start learning out of books, and I would play at recitals, and so I was reading. But then when I got further into church and just kind of learning from other people, I would just hear what they were playing and then just kind of pick it up. So I'm considered a play-by-ear musician because, you know, when churches want me to learn music, they just send me a list of YouTube.
Right, that's good.
And I just kind of listen and learn it from there, and then I play.
And you have a very important gig coming up, right? Do I call it a gig? Because you're actually creating the music.
Well, I am arranging.
You're arranging the music.
So there's a play that's going to be at City of Praise coming up in March called Sisters, the musical.
Sisters, the musical.
And I've actually played for the play twice before under a different director. And so they've decided not to use a live band. They're going to use tracks. So I am arranging the tracks and producing the instrumentals that they're going to use.
So for those of us who are not musicologists, like what is arranging the music?
Right. So the songs are they already know the list of songs that they're using. It ranges from old traditional gospel to R&B. They got everything from Old Happy Day in there to all the way to some Beyonce. So they have everything.
Every genre, right?
Right.
How about country? Is country?
No,
not
country? Quite.
Not yet.
But so they already know the list of songs that they're doing.
Okay.
And they have some music that they could use, but I'm more so updating the sound of the tracks from when they did the show, I guess, in New York before. And so I'm arranging how the music is going to sound with a different flavor.
I know we're talking about music, and we're talking about your journey of music. But for me, I'm not a musician, and your story still inspired me to go forward with the dreams and the goals and the gifts God placed inside of me. So how will you encourage someone else? They may not be a musician, but they have a seed that's something God planted inside of them, and it hasn't sprung forth yet. What advice would you give to that person?
I would give them to follow the path that God leads you. So if you're in the what God has for you, then after that, just believe in yourself. Because like I said, we're so hard on ourselves, and then we tend to compare ourselves to other people. And our growth is not the same speed as somebody else's. And so it may take me longer to get it, but then I got it. Exactly, when I get there. But I may be looking at another prodigy that got it quicker, and I may be judging my steps on and frustrated that I haven't gotten as fast as someone else. You know, a lot of people do that with age. You know, they say, oh, I thought I would have had a career. I would have had a house by now. I would have been married. I would have had kids. We do that to ourselves. And maybe my path is not the same as yours, but I'm going to get there in my due time. And so I would just say, be patient with yourself.
Well, that's huge. You said the word don't compare. Well, that's common. People tend to compare their gifts, their talents, wishing they had a gift or talent that someone else has.
Right.
But you have to be patient with what God planted inside of you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And make it your own. Like, it's okay to be influenced by people, but I'm not necessarily trying to be the person who influenced me. Like, I want my own style.
We can be influenced, but don't be the person.
Right. Don't try to duplicate though.
Wow.
Like, do a new thing. God can give you a new song. God can give you a new talent.
Come on,
you
say
can
that
always,
again.
whatever your area is, you can think out of the box and create something that nobody else has ever done.
That is awesome. That's how you inspire me. When I heard you say that, I went home. I said, God, you're the creator yourself. You made me a creative. Give me something I never heard before.
Yes.
Do you know he gave me something I never heard before?
There you go.
I looked it up on AI. AI couldn't find it. You know, if AI couldn't find it, it's not out there, right?
It's new.
So thank you for that inspiration. Really, it was just confirmation for what God has already placed in my heart. Because sometimes when you do get something new that you've never seen before, you may be concerned about how it'll be received.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yes.
But I'm like, if God put it inside of you, you said just trust the path that he put you on.
Yes.
Anything else you want to share to anybody else out there?
Well,
you shared a whole lot.
That was it.
So guys, I mean, this is Todd Gholar, and you can check him out. What is your website? We're going to put your website up at the end. What is your website?
ToddGholar.com.
How about your Facebook?
Todd Gholar. It's only one Todd Gholar out here. So
in America,
if you search for Todd Gholar, Gholar,
you'll find.
You're gonna find me.
You'll find Todd Gholar, the musicologist. And guys, we're going to show, me playing a little bit of something, something, and Todd's going to be backing me up, right? He's going to
Yes.
back me up. What a humble musicologist. So until next time, may God continue to bless you. And remember that you are valuable, you have a unique identity, and God has a personalized purpose just for you. Right, Todd?
That's correct.
All right, until next time, God bless. VIP in the DMV, value, identity, and purpose. Sing it with me, Todd. VIP in the DMV, value, identity, and purpose. So you're not gonna laugh at me, right? You're gonna help me out. Todd's gonna help me out as I remember this childhood beat, okay? You ready? Okay, musicologist, what was that?
That was great.
That was great?
That was LaVita Weaver's version
Of what?
Of a calypso beat.
Oh, okay. so it's my version. So you're a musicologist. You specialize in music, and I'm a LaVita-rologist?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
That makes
I specialize in my beat.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate it.
Todd is also an incredible musician. Incredible musician. He is quite accomplished. He is world class in everything he touches. Well prepared. Hear this. Timely. Oh my God. And thorough. He serves as a musician right now in 3 churches: Community of Faith Tabernacle as an MD, Zion Church, Fredericksburg as an MD, and the Oasis Church in Fredericksburg, where I'm proud to be pastor. Wow. And he has stood by me in our church personally during some of our most challenging times over this last year, proving to be a friend, watch this, Phil, unfailing. Believe it or not, Todd is a thrill seeker, but one of the things that we both agree is on our list is a love for good food. Todd is that one that's always down with me as soon as we get to the hotel. Okay, who wanna go sneak out and get some to eat? As Todd beat me to the car. As a PK, his father's here today, pastor. Todd's upbringing explains a lot about him. Many know him as a networker and as a connector. If you need a musician or a vocalist, Todd is likely the one who found the person you have now. And he is an amazing part of our musician community and is invaluable. However, none of these attributes would be meaningful without the core of who he is, his heart. In true PK spirit, Todd is a deep love for the house of God, and his loyalty is not necessarily to man, but primarily to the Lord. From his relationship with God, we all benefit from his willingness to say yes to what God asked of him. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great honor to introduce to you, with time still on the clock, the man, the myth, the legend, a man of few words, but y'all gonna get to hear him talk today. So everybody get your cameras out so you can record this moment. Todd Gholar.
Thank God for guiding my path, knowing full well that I wouldn't always make the right decisions. His love and his grace are amazing. I am grateful that he has entrusted me with these talents, and I honor him. I'm grateful to be accepted by my musical peers in the DMV area, and that I've been able to help so many younger musicians of the next generation. It's been over 33 years in music for me, but I'm not tired or weary.
All right.
I'm passionate about music and how God can use just an ounce of talent when the intentions are pure. I'm thankful for all the churches, the pastors, the artists, the event coordinators, music band leaders, play directors that saw enough skill in me, but more importantly, saw my potential and my love for God. I won't get to call everyone, but I will mention a few musicians and singers in the DMV area that have helped me. Andre Porter, Maharo Peoples Jr., Isaac Howard, Tanya Dallas Lewis, Javon Inman, Richard Davis, Anthony Reed is one of the first groups I played for, Remnant Nation, Stan Belcher, Clarence Parker, Beverly Johnson, Angela Summers, Tanya Easley, who will always be my director at Antioch. Sometimes the message that you don't want to hear is the one that you need to. So thank you for telling me to play in the pocket when I wanted to do runs and fields. Thanks for telling me to stop using the transpose button and to learn how to play in every key. Thanks for telling me that it's more to being a musician than how well you play. Although my kids couldn't be here, I want to shout them out: Adalia, Jeremiah, and Angel, the best kids a parent could ever hope for. My father, Pastor Robert Gholar, is here. St. John Baptist Church, Moss Point, Mississippi. My brother, Chris Gholar. Thanks to my best friend, Victoria Parker, hanging in there, having my back through all the ups and downs. Thank you, Dad, for showing me what it is to be a godly man. For not being overly strict. You gave me room to make mistakes, and I never felt forced to go to church. So it's truly always been my own desire to be there. So, PK's got a bad rap because we rebel because of the strictness of our parents. My father was never strict on me, and I appreciate it. Antioch, Fairfax Station. Thank you for the 10 years I played there. To Zion Church, Oasis, where I play every Sunday morning. Last but definitely not least, I dedicate this award to my deceased mother, Sue Gholar. Today would have been her 72nd birthday. Mom, thanks for putting up with all the noise I made while I was learning. Thanks for being my phone buddy while I was driving on the highway. This is dedicated to you. Happy birthday, Mom. I love you.
VIP in the DMV, value, identity, and purpose. Everybody. VIP in the DMV, value, identity, and purpose. Hey.